I am doing project 1B in the common features of Microsoft Office, and I'm starting on page 164. Objective number 7, open an existing file and save it with a new name. Okay. If you want to open a file, go to your file menu, choose open, and then you'll have to navigate. I'm going to my SkyDrive folder. It's in the common features, and it is the cheese promotion file. Go ahead and click on open down here, and now we have the file that we can work on. If you want to save it under a new name, go to your file menu and do a save as. And what we're going to do in this class is we are always going to put our last name underscore first name underscore and then the rest of the file name when we save it, and pick the place you want to save it. I'm going to put it right back here next to the original. Click on the save button, and that's activity 1.07. Now we're going to look at activity 1.08, and we're going to check out the options. Go to our file menu and click on the options button down here near the bottom. And what they want us to look at is the display tab, and under always show these formatting marks on the screen, make sure that this is turned on, and then you can click on OK, and that's objective 1.08. Now we're on to objective 1.09. Click on the View tab, and in the Show group, make sure that the ruler checkbox is turned on so the ruler here is visible. There's also a vertical ruler over here on the left. And we're going to go to our quick access toolbar up here on the top, and this button over here on the end lets us customize it. And what the book says to do is we want to make sure that the print, preview, and print button is visible on the quick access toolbar. I've already got that turned on. You'll have to turn it on if it's not turned on your version of Word, and it'll give us this little button right here. Just click off to make the menu go away. And now we're going to start editing. We're going to go to the first line of the document to the left of the O in Oceania. We're going to press enter once, and then we're going to go up to get back up to that paragraph that we just created, that empty paragraph. And what we're going to do is we're going to insert a picture here. Inserting a picture is on the Insert tab under Illustrations, and we're going to get something from Clip Art. So click on Clip Art here, and Clip Art is all categorized. There are keywords attached, so you can search Clip Art, and what they want us to search for is the phrase cheese grapes. And down here we just want illustrations, so turn the other checkboxes off if they're on, and then click on Go. And in a second here we'll have the images, and the one we want is this one right here. Click on it, and it automatically gets put in your document at the place where the cursor was, which was the very top of my document. Now we're going to close the Clip Art pane over here on the right, and we want to center this, and our centering commands are on the Home tab in the Paragraph group, and this button right here is Center. Notice that Control E is the keyboard shortcut for that. Click on it, and now we've got the picture centered at the top of the document. Now whenever a picture is selected like this, the picture tools will come up here. Notice if I click off the picture, that goes away. If I click back on the picture, it comes back up again. And there's a Format tab. So you'll see additional tabs come up here depending on what you're doing. And we want to click on the Format tab. I'm on page 172 now, and flipping over to page 173. And we're going to add one of these picture styles, and if you pause your mouse over each one of these different picture styles and pause just a second or so, you'll get a live preview. Now the one that we want is the one called Drop Shadow Rectangle. A name will pop up if you pause the mouse over it. And so this is the one we want. Click on it, and now we get a little shadow below our picture. And it says to click on the Save button here, and you should do that every once in a while just to make sure you don't lose any of your work. And press on the Alt key. I'm down on activity 1.10 at the bottom of page 173. And if I press on the Alt key, this is the keyboard way to get to stuff up here. If I want to pick something, everything has a letter on it. Let's say that I want to go to the Home tab. I type the letter H. And then when I get to the Home tab, I've got all these different options here. And all you have to do is look at the letters and type them in. If you don't want to do it that way, you want to get rid of this, hit Escape once. You might have to hit it 2 or 3 times till all of the buttons up here with the numbers and letters on them go away. Okay. There is a way to minimize the ribbon. I don't think you're going to want to do this very often, but there's a button over here that'll let you minimize, and then if you click it when it's pointing down, it'll bring it back again. Okay, I'm on objective 10, and we're going to apply formatting in Office programs, and we want to go to the Insert tab, and we want to go to the footer of our documents. Click on that. It'll automatically take us down. Oops, first we got to select one. We're going to select blank, and it takes us down here, and blank isn't completely blank. There's a little placeholder here. If you click on the left edge of that placeholder, the gray spot with the dots, and then hit delete, you can get that to go away. And what we want to put down here, what we're going to do on all of our assignments this term, is we're going to put the file name. Now you can type it in, but that's doing it the hard way. There's a button up here on the header and footer tools on the Design tab. There's a button up here labeled Quick Parts. And if you click on Quick Parts and choose Field, we've got a bunch of things we can include here, but the only one we're going to really care about, I think, all term long is the file name. And click on OK, and it'll automatically put the file name down there for you. And notice when you click on it, the whole thing turns gray, which is Word's way of telling you that that's not something you typed in, it's something that it computed for you and put there. Okay, now to get off the header and the footer, there's 2 ways. You can double click here, off of the header and footer in the body of your document, or you can just click on the Close button up here. Okay, they want us to check out the page layout, and we've got 2 choices for the orientation of the page. It can either be in portrait or landscape. And before I do this, I'm going to go down to the zoom slider down here at the bottom, and I'm just going to slide it down and make it small enough so I can see the whole page on the screen. Then when I flip the orientation, it's a little more obvious what's going on here. There we go. And we're going to flip it back again to portrait because that's what we want eventually. Okay. And we're going to go back to 100% down here. Every time you click on the plus sign in the lower right hand corner, it increases it by 10%. And I'm now on page 176, activity 1.12, and this is where we look at some formatting text options. And it says go to the left of this paragraph here, and when you get in the margin, the arrow turns, or the cursor turns into a white arrow pointing at about 1 o'clock. If you click on it, it'll select the entire paragraph. Now we want to go to the Home tab up here, and in the paragraph group, we want this to be centered again, just like the picture above it. So click on Center here. We could also have done Control E. We're going to change the font here. Go to the Font group, click on the font name, and the one we want is Cambria, and the size that we want is 20. And notice if you pause over these, you get a live preview. Okay, so we want 20. And we're also going to go to our font color, which is the little A with a colored stripe underneath it here. And under theme colors here, these will vary depending on which theme you have selected for your document, we want the 7th column, and we want the last color. They're all labeled. We want the one labeled olive green, accent 3, darker 50%. I want to select the 4 memo headings here. And I'm also going to make those the same color. Notice this is no longer red under the A up here. It's the same. It's the last color that I used. So if I want to make this text the same color, I can just click on it. Okay, and now we want to go down and select the next paragraph here. We can click in the margin and drag our mouse, or we can double click in the margin to select the whole paragraph, or we can triple click in the paragraph and that'll select the entire paragraph as well. And we want to change the color of this. So again, we're going to go to the Home tab, which we're already on. We want to go to the Font Color button right here, and we want Red Accent 2 for that text. Okay, then we want to go down here and select 2, and this little shortcut toolbar pops up here. Now I want to make it bold. I can either type Control B, or I can click on the B here, or I could go all the way up to the top and click on bold up there. Notice that when I drag the mouse over this stuff and this pop-up menu appears, that these 3 items here for bold, italic, and underline, Control B, Control I, and Control U, are all toggle buttons. They just turn it on and off, and so on. Okay, so now I'm done, and I've just made that bold. And now here's a neat tool that's available. Up here on the Home tab, there's something called the Format Painter. And what it'll do is it'll let you take one thing and it's formatted the way you want it to be, and it'll let you make something else the same format. And so I already have the 2 here as green and bold. And now if I double click on this, I can select multiple things. Notice the mouse has a little paintbrush with it, and whatever I drag it over, I'm painting the same format as what I had originally when I started, before I clicked on the Format Painter button. And this is probably a good place to stop this video, and we'll continue with the next one.